Hello everyone, I am Damini, your host for today, and today I have with me Advocate Naman Maheshwari, who's the Managing Counsel at NMN Chambers. So thank you so much, sir, for accepting my invitation on a very short notice, and you actually agreed to give your interview and sparing your time.
Thank you, Damini. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so much, sir. So without taking your much time, would you mind sharing your law school journey with us?
Law school journey was, I would say, the first stepping stone to learning the law. Once you are fresh out of your 12th standard, you are very naive and, you want to experience different things around. And of course, that is your first stepping outside your home comfort also. So you get to learn a lot, you get to understand a lot. And, I also try to experiment with different things. You go to the new city and you learn to live on your own. So besides the law, you also get to develop your own life. And about the law, what we learned was how to conceptualize the concepts, how to understand what is there in the law and how to read it, because legal juggernauts are not easily comprehended by many people. And in fact, that is why they say that laymen are not the best persons to argue and interpret the law. So that is what you learn, and that is how you shape.
Yes, sir. But the audience who's going to watch this video, they'll surely have this thing in mind that those 5 years are, compulsory for everyone. We all know you have to do internships, you have to participate in moot courts and all that. But sir, could you share something about yourself? Like, what other than the moot court and internships you were doing in your law school, which makes it
Which makes it, sorry, I did not
Yeah,
hear
sorry, I
you.
muted myself. I'm so sorry. So,
Okay.
we want to know, what other than those sort of moot courts plus internship you did, which actually made your law school journey different from others who were only engaged in, doing moot courts, internships, or maybe, busy in academics.
Right, right. So first and foremost, I would say the best activity you do in law school is to make friends. And once you have your group, that is the best part. You enjoy the most of it. Secondly, apart from that, I think what used to happen in our college, Bharati Vidya Peeth, that's where I studied my 5 years law. And after that, I did my master's in international arbitration and investment law from MITS program in Geneva. So in both the courses, they were like very different. But in the graduation, at least, I we had lots of co-curricular as well as extracurricular activities that we enjoyed quite a lot, and there were a lot of seminars going on during the 5 year course. So many people or many stellar advocates would come and give conferences. So to interact with them on a personal level was one such opportunity, which I think gives you more knowledge than the textbooks and then the moot courts. So that was quite intellectually stimulating.
Exactly.
And apart from
Because,
that, yeah,
this used
apart,
to happen in
sorry.
my college as well. Like, we have some guest lectures, you get to interact with those people, you get to know their viewpoints. Like, what happened is when, the abrogation of 370 took place in Jammu and Kashmir. So,
Yeah,
our college promptly organized a guest lecture. So, where the, advocate on the court from Supreme Court came, he addressed the whole issue, he explained everything to us. Then we have some workshops going on. So, I think apart from those curriculum which have been framed by the law school for the students, particularly, sticking to the particular subject, it is very important to organize such kind of webinars or workshops, right? So just like you said,
right.
you also had some kind of sessions
Absolutely.
going on in your college, right? So, sir,
Correct. Correct.
you said that keeping your viewpoint aside, these things actually happen. But to be on a more positive now, what do you call it? Back to the internship scenario. So, what do you say? This kind of internships matters, like where you actually focus on doing more and more internships every month, or the quality internship matters? And how many internships you did, particularly when you were in law school?
See, I did around 6 to 7 internships, but then I would say that quality of internships does matter a lot, and length as well. Because if you are going for an internship for hardly 15 days, it doesn't get you much. But then if you are interning for say 2 months or 3 months in a good place where you get to do stuff yourself and where you get to learn under your senior directly, then it does matter a lot. And of course, I was fortunate to have internships with some of the best advocates, senior advocates rather, of India, like Mr. Soli Sorabji, who is no more now, and Mr. Iqbal Chagla, who is a senior advocate at the Bombay High Court. Like these are legendary figures. I've also had the opportunity to work with the Additional Solicitor General of India. So these kind of chambers and offices give you the best exposure in the country of how the litigation is running, and there's a lot of files, a lot of cases going on daily basis. So that time, if you get an opportunity to work in such a scenario, I think it does add to your own skills. And apart from that, I would say the quality specifically matters when you even go to some other place and, suppose you get a letter of recommendation from somebody who's of stature. I think it helps a lot.
That's actually very important for those who are actually watching this video. Like you need to particularly decide as to what sort of internships you want. Do you want internship for numbers or you want quality internships? Like you
Correct.
said that you did 5 to 6 internships. That's fair enough because talking about those 5 years in law school, if you're doing one internship per year, that is okay. But right now, what is happening is people are actually looking for internships every month. So I think yes, if you're learning, no offenses for sure. If you're learning something from these internships, then continue doing it. Otherwise, just 1 or 2 internships per year is more than enough, right?
Of course, otherwise, when are you enjoying your college life if you are busy all the
Exactly.
time interning? Yeah,
Yeah. So like you said that college life, like everyone should enjoy that. So let's just move on to the more
correct.
informal side of the conversation where we're going to ask some questions based on your college life. We'll be playing a rapid fire game now. Okay.
Great.
So here we go.
I
So
like
you need
this
to tell
part with
me.
the coffee. Yeah.
Okay, so just tell me, like, was there any professor in your college who used to cut your attendance even if you don't talk? This happens with me, but yeah.
Well, my attendance was already short, so I don't even remember that. But then, yes, some people were strict and some people were a bit lenient. So I think we could manage. And in fact, the best part was that if you were mooting or if you were doing something or if you were representing some
Yeah,
national level competition, that time you were exempted from the attendance.
exactly. Then,
So,
you have that
yeah,
thing
yeah,
that you were on duty.
correct. So,
So,
since I represented college at various levels, that is why I think I could get off it.
yeah. But, like, what sort of percentage you had when we talk about the attendance? You said that it was
See,
very low, but still.
I don't really remember, but I think it must be around 30% or so because the UGC rules were not that time of compulsory 75%
But
attendance.
right now, what
Uh,
happens is even if you have less than 70%, you are barred. You cannot give exams. This happens in my
Yeah, yeah,
college.
yeah. No, even otherwise, I think all the colleges are very strict right now.
Hmm.
But even that time, people were strict. Somehow we had the liberty of, since we were representing college at various levels, that is why. But that does not encourage you to have less attendance for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. No offenses. Everyone should attend the classes.
Correct,
They should participate in moot
correct.
courts, but yeah, on duty leave is not an excuse for sure. But
Absolutely. In my master's, I had 100% attendance compulsory and I did that. So it does not exempt me from
you
that.
actually,
But then,
maintained that balance while doing BLLB plus LLM. So the percentage
correct,
of attendance, so yeah, balanced in a way. But sir,
correct.
like, if I just ask you, like, would you share the worst experience you had, maybe in the college or in the school?
Worst experience, I really don't remember because worst experience become learning lessons for you.
Yeah.
So I would say, well, if I were to tell you, this will be a bit of satire, but uh, in college, everybody used to read from the notebooks or the notes already prepared and
Hmm.
printed by different publishers. And you just read them, mug up, and pass the exams. That is how it is in most of the colleges. But then I decided once to, that was during the contracts class. So I decided once to only read Mulla book and go thoroughly prepared with all the doctrines and everything. And I really used to love reading. So I did that. And fortunately or unfortunately for me, I failed that exam. And I now think because the professor himself was not very convenient with all the doctrines and jurisprudence available,
Yeah,
I
because
think that is
this book
why
is
I
something which
failed.
every college refers to. Even when I was in my first year, my professor told me, like, just go for this book. But I never did that
Right, right.
because I was more,
So,
what do you call it, more
yeah,
tilted
when
towards
you
the
go
Google.
out of the box, sometimes I think it fails you. But apart from that, for the knowledge purpose, that was great. And later on, when I reappeared for that exam, reading those specific notes which are meant to be, that time I came out with flying colors.
Wow.
So,
But
so
yeah,
that you
no
can
offenses
say,
to that book for sure because that's a good book. But yeah, it's just a sort of experience which we wanted to share with everyone.
of course.
Uh, but sir, if I just put a simple equation for you as to lawyer is equal to what?
Lawyers is a rescue man. I think for anybody who's in trouble, you save.
Yeah, exactly. He defends you every time. Like, doesn't matter which party you belong to. But yeah, he's the one who's always going to defend you. But sir, if not law, then what other sort of profession you would have gone for?
I would say car designing because that really intrigued me a lot when I was a child. And I do read up a lot even now. I was really interested in cars and the designing part.
Okay. But sir, if I just give you a situation, a factual situation as to like you are the director or the producer of a movie, but you have to decide the
Right.
theme. So what would be the theme?
So is it going to be law related or different?
You need to answer it either ways. Like, firstly, just let me know about the law one, then the generalized one.
Okay. I think it should be really great to have a movie on the life of Mr. Nani Palkiwala. He has been a legendary figure and he has overcome a lot of difficulties in his earlier life. So I think that would be a great movie to watch.
And what about the generalized view? Not related to law particularly.
Not related to law. Then I think you already have so many movies coming up. I
No,
just
but you are the producer or the director, right? So you need to answer this.
uh, well, I think something like Money Heist.
Okay, I thought that you would say that you will actually portray yourself as a car designer or something like that.
Okay, no, I think Money Heist. I really like that series a lot.
Okay. You love traveling
So
or what?
I really do. Yeah.
You really
Due
do.
to COVID, it's been long time I haven't traveled. But when I was in Geneva, I traveled a lot. Like to see different parts of the world is really great experience.
Yeah. So with this, we wrap up the rapid fire round to just come back to the more formal side of this conversation. Would you mind sharing something about your firm or the chamber you have?
Yeah, so as I told you, my master's was in international and investment arbitration. So we do a lot of work regarding that field. Apart from that, we generally cater to commercial work, basically in the cities like Delhi, Mumbai, and Jaipur. These three cities I cover in my major work. And apart from that, we also do some NCLT matters and more or less related to company work. That is how
Like,
it
do
is. And
you take
apart
in
from that,
turns?
few miscellaneous matters. Yeah. Sorry.
Do you take in turns?
Yes, we do.
What's the
We do.
procedure for the same
Procedure is already mentioned on the website,
website?
or otherwise you can also apply to no, sorry, it does not start with www, but it is nmnchambers@gmail.com.
Okay. So, like, what happens is sometimes students do send their application, but they get a very positive reply that the slots are booked till next year. So, would you mind sharing the slot availability of your office?
Well, actually, I think that happens in some of the biggest firms you have in India, and I think everybody aspires to be there. So that is the difficulty. But what students should realize is that they should aim for the place where they will get to learn.
Exactly.
So for me at least, I keep two interns at a time, not more than that, because they should have some work in hand to do. Otherwise, it doesn't really serve the purpose.
Matter.
So we just finished two interns in the month of May. June is holiday, and that is why I think we'll start in July.
Okay, so it means like those who are watching this video, after watching this video, they can surely go to your website and send in their application, rest upon you whether you select them or not.
Yeah, yeah, they can directly shoot mails. We do keep a check on them, and
Yeah.
then whoever is the suitable candidate for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
why not?
So one more thing, like some people have this question in their mind, like people say that they expertise in a particular field of law. So would you what do you call it? Would you recommend people, particularly those who are in the law school, maybe second or third year of their college, should they right now select their area of expertise, like where they see themselves after 5 years? Or like, is it something an ongoing process? You get to know about the same thing maybe when you are in the professional life, you actually get to know like where your interest lies. So what's your comment on this?
See, there's a very wise saying called the life of law is not logic but experience.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing for choosing your specialization.
Mm.
You have to experience everything, and only thereafter you choose which field you want to specialize in. So once you have to experience everything, otherwise you will not get to know what is there around and what you are missing. So for that, I think you first got to experience, and later on your maybe third or fourth year of law, you you should have good idea of where you are going to be after you graduate. If you don't have, till fifth year you may have it, but otherwise you should not take any longer. Otherwise, what happens is in the confusion, you tend to lose precious time.
Yeah, because like what happens is not like when I talk to my fellow mates, this is that, oh, like my area of specialization is this. Sometimes I'm very shocked that being a student, how can we decide it at some kind of initial stages? But yes, if you are in the fourth year or the fifth year, at least you should decide as to uh, think like what your interest is, because you have to apply for internships, right? You said that you wanted
Right.
your career in litigation, so you initially started interning with those who were into litigation, and you might have done some internships at corporate as well, but not that much, right? So like, in a way, you are trying to say
Well,
to the viewers that like where your interest lies, just apply for internship over there. Is it so?
right. In fact, to tell you, I never did any internship with any firm or any
Yeah,
corporate
because you
house.
mentioned it. Yeah.
I only did internships with lawyers
Lawyers.
because I was clear in my head that I want to pursue litigation. Now, somebody may be clear that he wants to only go for the firm job and a particular firm if he has so chosen so. So that should be kept in mind while applying for internships. And apart from that, I think for the specialization, as far as that is concerned, most of the colleges do offer you electives also when you are in your senior years. So I think a child naturally has to choose one topic which really interests him. So that time, I think you must be clear in your head
And
what
you
you are
get your
going to do in
electives
the
even in the
future.
fourth or the fifth year, right? So that
Absolutely.
answers the same question which you actually mentioned earlier, that yes, when you are in your fourth or fifth year, then you should decide as to what
Correct.
interests you. Yeah.
Correct.
So, sir, like to wrap up the session, any sort of advice for the batch of 2020, 2021, plus the budding law students? Because, like, what happens is this pandemic came with a lot of tragedies for some. Like, some people are very demotivated, particularly the batch of 2020 plus 2021. They are, like, in a way, very worried about their career. Because if I would place myself, in their shoes, like, what would I say? That I want a job in my hands when I graduate, right? So do the cases with them as well. So, any sort of advice for them, any motivating words for them?
Well, this batch for sure lives in a peculiar situation, and I sympathize with them. It's been difficult times, and people are not able to start their professional journey since 2019 and 2020. But then, whatever you are getting online, I think you should get your experience in that. And if you are, suppose, if you are trying for LLM abroad, or if you are trying for an LLM even in India, which you are getting online, you must apply for it. You must do it because uh, if like it's better than sitting idle at home. You must read up and you must have extra degree. Apart from that, if you are pursuing litigation or firm job, I think many of the firms are doing work from home. So that is not a difficulty for most of the associates. They are able to do work from home. But as far as the litigation part is concerned, that is a bit difficult because for the beginners, the profession is even otherwise not very generous, and the work comes late only after you get experience in the field. But apart from that, because the things are working online, most of the beginners are not able to see the code procedures on daily basis. It is limited to few hearings, and that is why the difficulty is arising for them. So they are not even exposed to the clients as well as litigation that much. So I think it's a brief period of halt for everybody, and including us. And you have to keep your patience. That's it.
That's actually a good sort of advice for those who are actually like very demotivated because like the pandemic came with all of a sudden, like nobody actually knew like how to face it. How would it turn, right? Because now people are saying that third wave is always there, like it's
Yeah,
almost over there. Because what
correct.
happened is like second wave was so tragic for some. Like
You
I
know,
say,
may I add to my answer that
yeah, yeah,
instead
please.
of sitting at home and getting frustrated about COVID, it's better if law students can take up some kind of publication work, or otherwise, even for the young lawyers, that matters. Or otherwise, get into a lot of webinars like this, which you have started. It's a very good initiative, I would say.
Thank you, sir.
And apart from that, get into writing or reading in any way possible so as to expose yourself to different areas of law, new areas of law which are interesting,
Mm.
such like technology law. This is evolving a lot during these times. You must have heard of Twitter case recently. It's a recent thing. So it is going on. The IT rules are evolving, and for most of the young students, I think these topics does carry a lot of interest.
Yeah. So just adding on to your point, like if you think that you don't have anything right now, at least just start doing something because this too shall pass. And after that, like when you have a lot of opportunities before you, you're surely gonna have some bigger thing in your hand. Because like you said, like life is all about learning. So even if you don't have anything right now, just don't give up, right? Start doing something. Maybe just publish your articles or start writing something at least. Start writing blogs, like start
Absolutely.
participating in webinars so that you get to interact with so many professionals, or just start with something
Correct.
because it's not something that you need to do everything or anything at a moment. You need to do something at your own as well. If your fellow mates are doing something, just don't get into trouble that your friends have done that so you cannot do that or you have to do that promptly. No, It's like, it's your life. Obviously, your mental health always is the priority, right? So, sir, like one more thing,
Correct.
if you could just add on to the point, like how to maintain that balance between professional and mental health, because this is something very crucial nowadays. Whenever we open LinkedIn, we see a lot of people are saying that they are into trauma, they are into depression. So, please address this issue.
See, this issue can be addressed in very simple form. If you have work, your mental stress will automatically go down. Your frustration level will automatically go down because your mind is occupied that time. And to generate work, either you are already in the job, that helps, or otherwise you have to make yourself busy by the ways we just mentioned. So that is how, to lead a healthy lifestyle during these days and just to get attached to the profession more and to be updated as well. This is what is required. And if you are able to do online internships, if you are able to do online litigation or online job, I think that that would be just the icing on the cake because you are then doing some real work on the field which is affecting people's life.
Yes, sir. So that's a good piece of advice for those like who actually want some kind of assistance, or they need mentees for sure, like, or mentors for sure, like with whom they can interact. So at least just watch this video, because the set of advice which has been given to you, that's surely gonna motivate you. That's surely gonna encourage you to do something, or start something at least. So with this, we wrap up the session, sir. And thank you so much for accepting my invitation and sparing your time with us. But I must say that your experience of litigation and your what do you call it, decision of choosing that you want to stick to the litigation, and if you have decided to do something, you just stick to that side. You did internships particularly relating to that field of law. So that's very inspiring and motivating for those who are actually very confused as to like they want to go to corporate or they want to go for litigation. At least make up a decision, make up a mind, and just start interning with those lawyers who are into litigation, so that you actually what do you call it, so in reality you specialize in that field, because specialty or your area of expertise depends upon your personal interest, right, sir? Like you said, you wanted to be into litigation, you interned with lawyers. So in a way, I would just request the audience to learn something from it, and if they have some doubts, if they have some queries, they can comment it in the comment section. Otherwise, you are available on LinkedIn, so they can surely connect with you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being with you, Damini. And I hope people have a healthy and safe living ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.